I'll be honest with you, man. Like, वीडियो बनाने का बिल्कुल भी आज मन नहीं था, ठीक है. But couple of things were in my mind, right? तो I thought कि maybe I should just talk about it. उसमें से एक चीज़ थी जो कि which I realized कि बोलना चाहिए हम लोगों को. And the thing which I wanted to talk about is that I want you to understand the fact that you have to take things slow. ठीक है. Now, not just taking things slow, but you have to also understand the fact that you have to, like, you know what, like हर बंदा अपने हिसाब से काम करता है, right? Everyone just works in their own individual ways. What might work for them might not work for you, right? एक बहुत ही simple सी exercise है which I realized was that you just simply remove social media from your life and ढंग का खाना वाना खाना शुरू करो, ढंग की नींद लो, and like you have to understand the fact that a lot of elements which comes into your personality is not it is not necessarily you, right? And not everything is necessarily good for you, right? And that's like more of a spiritual aspect, right? But then I also realized the fact that taking care of yourself is nobody's responsibility but yourself, right? And उस चीज़ को understand करना is very difficult because especially if you live in a Indian family, right? You have to take care of your loved ones, right? And you also have to like fulfill that duty as good as possible, right? You have to maintain a healthy relationship with them as well. And then another concept which comes into viewpoint is samaj, right? The society around you. And now अब पता है यहाँ पे चीज़ें get a little bit tricky, right? Why they get tricky is that because their judgment, right? They have zero context about your life. Almost they have very superficial context about your life and almost zero context about your life. Even if you have a very healthy relationship with your family and you love them a lot, they also have very little context about your life. So at the end of the day, the simple thing is that you simply just have to survive, right? And live, because, well, again, life is short, you go on adventures. I wanted to come on the second topic with that, right? The second thing which I wanted to do, like, just express is that, okay, stop comparing. I'm not kidding about you guys. Like, if you start comparing yourself to anyone above you, below you, what really happens is that, okay, you're not again focused on your own goals, right? And when you're not focused on your own goals and you social cheese yeah, like you just want to adapt, you're a social being, you want friends, right? You want to be loved, etc, etc, etc. All of those things happen. And that's the thing, like if you're someone who likes to be around people but you also want to find yourself, it's very difficult, right? So then you have to understand the fact that, okay, if I want to interact with people, I have to interact with people the way that I feel is the right way to interact with them, right? General kindness have to be there, right? If you're a human being, you have to make sure and understand the fact that they're a human being as well, and possibly the struggles which you have right now, right? They also went through the same kind of struggles. होता क्या है कि like once you like do all of those things, इतना जब हो जाता है kind of मामला, right? And then you like simply begin to like work on yourself, get a better physique and get better knowledge, make better money, have a better lifestyle, right? And you become more intelligent. Then you enter the next stage of life, which is the hierarchy of needs, right? Now these are the things which I'm talking about. Like अभी तो luxury में lavishness में तो आएंगे भी नहीं. And to be honest, people who even get there, right? People who even get there, you have no context about their life as well. You have zero context. Understand the basic fact that you have zero context. So I wanted to understand this fact that first of all your life is yours, right? So your life is yours, your goals are yours, and what might work for me might not work for you, right? After spending enough time with myself, I realized that okay, right, I'm not gonna say that I'm any less intelligent or I don't possess intelligence or you don't possess intelligence. Everyone possesses a certain degree of intelligence if there is focus involved, right? Point is not just that, right? Point is that you reach a level, right? If you're financially reaching a level where you're sort of fine, then you can sort of start to bend the rules of the society, which they will impose on you regardless. And having freedom over your life is extremely important for you to like start exploring things, right? For me, it was stock market. Even that was not good enough, right? Market kitni लाल हो गई है, ठीक है? And this is where ego starts to play a role, right? Because life is not stable. सीधी लाइन तो है नहीं, उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं. मैं तो उसको मार्केट मानता हूँ यार. उतार चढ़ाव फिर तुम्हारे मार्केट के आते हैं, वो लाइफ में आते हैं. The only right way to go about it, for me personally, right, is stability. Stability, man. That I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't know why. Because, for example, right, my target is, I'm gonna name a random number. Let's go with 500 rupees, right? If my monthly target is 500 rupees and I exceed way above and way, like let's just say 800 rupees or 900 rupees, don't be greedy. Simply don't be greedy. Or if you're absolutely sure about your craft, which is where mastery starts to come into place, right? If you're sure about your craft, go with it. But detach from the outcome. If you feel that, you know, having a lot of money will certainly make me happy, it's like a half-truth situation, because once you're in a comfortable position, right, hypothetically also, challenges of life are a impermanent fact of life, right? वो तो रहेंगे. And you cannot stop growing, of course, but even if you want to grow again, you have to understand the fact that you don't own anything, right? There came a time in my life where I was not even like able to like feel like all the materialistic things which you probably love to possess, right? They just lose their value eventually. एक saturation point आएगा and then it will all lose its value, right? And then the whole concept, then that is actually the real hell, because existentialism, if it hits you early in life, right, it might hypothetically make you a lot wiser, but it also definitely pulls out and like takes out your childhood out of you, right? And like at a particular point, if you want to feel like, you know what, I want to live my childhood, it might not happen. Some people struggle so much that they don't even know what childhood is. Everyone has their own struggles, but at the end of the day, what my main point is that I want you to remove all of those things first. Remove everything, like remove absolutely everything. And I want you to start progressing slowly, right? कोई भी दो चीज़ें उठाओ. Like for me personally, right? If I'm into finance, I'm taking a CFA level 1 exam. I am doing NSC and BSc certification at the same time. It takes time. The thing is, it takes time. And to even start with that, like part of my life, to even like start with that part of my life and handling finances at the same time and making sure that the loans which I took, right, every month, उसकी EMI भर रहे हैं, right, and to make sure that the families is also happy, तो responsibilities आ जाती हैं. तुम ऐसे बंद हो गए, बंधना है. suffering is gonna be there, and life gets a lot more complicated. So I would simply say, bhai, and you know what the really happens. So society, I think, yeah, peers happen. If you're a particularly ambitious person, right? Peers will happen. Immediate success will happen, and when a lot of success hits you, right? फिर लोगों के ओपिनियंस भी आते हैं यार, वो सब साले आते हैं, माइंड फक करेंगे तेरा. इट्स नॉट गोना स्टॉप. तो वो तो रिमूव करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू लाइक detach yourself from that, remove yourself from that. And if anything, I would say every work is stressful. Understand that every work is stressful. Every human being is going through something, right? And I want you to start understanding the fact that you live for God, you live for your parents, and the people who genuinely love you, right? And you know what? When I say people who genuinely love you, they accept both the best parts of you and the worst parts of you. Of course, with basic self-respect, they accept the best and the worst parts of you. This is what I have seen. Like, this is what works for me. And then you simply just focus on like very key areas of life. Like, this is actually written in the Bhagavad Gita, and this is like Gita knowledge, right? What happens is that, okay, you attach yourself to a purpose, right? Everyone has their own variable purposes. My purpose is not necessarily the best purpose in life, because working in this kind of industry, working in the finance and business industry, it like soaks away a lot of life out of you, right? You can actually feel that your life is being sucked out of you, because you have to detach from money to even feel like, I don't know, like you have to detach from money, right, to make a lot of money in this kind of industry. Because if losses come, they're gonna come a lot. Profits come, they're gonna come a lot, right? And ego definitely is gonna start hindering your headspace. And then other people's opinion, right? Because some people have a very conventional path. Go to college, live the college days, and get a nice job, beautiful job, meet colleagues, right? And then live a fairly regular life, which is absolutely fine. Some jobs simply are very isolating. And I feel like everyone is sort of isolated in their own space and time to some extent. Some are less, some are not. Everyone has their own situation. Main जो सार है इस चीज़ का basically is that के once you detach properly from everything, you get focused. And then कुछ 3-4 चीज़ें तुमको बस करनी है, regardless of how fucked up your life is. Regardless. First, remove all the bad habits. Essential है. Sutta, bad habits, drugs and all, drug abuse. PMO, for example, right? And like, there are like a lot of habits which a person gets indulged in. He escapes himself in social media, for example, right? He engages himself in that. And basically what happens is that it's not like you occasionally engage in it, it's gonna like mess your life up completely. It's not like that. It will start soaking your energy. It happens. These are like simply energy drainers. Then you get a little bit older, then you start to understand that energy drainers also come in the form of people. You yourself can be an energy drainer. You can also be in a circumstance where you feel like start sucking someone else's energy. And that's why I said, like, get trusted friends if you can. And I want you to also understand this fact. And probably I'm just not gonna be able to like talk to you. I'm no one to like definitely give advices. I'm just simply expressing my viewpoint at my current situation of life. It all starts with something as simple as going to gym every single day, regardless of how you look like. Stop comparing. Simply stop comparing. 2 घंटे पढ़ाई करो, कोई भी पढ़ाई करो, कोई भी कोर्स ले लो, पढ़ाई करो. And ढंग की स्लीप ले लो यार, and get a few nice friends to talk to. Systemize everything as much as possible. And then एक creative outlet रखो यार. This is my creative outlet for my expression. Everyone has their own form of expression, so this works for me, right? एक expressive outlet रखो. और क्या लिखा था मैंने इसके अंदर यार? बहुत सारी चीज़ें यार. अब once the basics तो करना पड़ता है यार. Basics regardless of emotions, you have to do it. And basically master those things. ठीक है. तो मैंने बहुत ज़ोरदार तरीके से तुम लोग को भी प्रोजेक्ट किया है अपनी सिचुएशन. मज़ा आया यार, बिकॉज अच्छा लगता है यार when you talk about certain things in your life. And if you have a fairly good mental health, mental peace, protect it. Stop comparing as. तो अगर अपना काम वाम कर रहा है ना, and you're in a you're like in a phase, right? I believe that everything is a phase and like a state of mind. Everything is a phase and everything is a state of mind. So if you are going to a phase of, like, let's say isolation, right? It might be a good opportunity for you to start studying, start exploring, start focusing. Maybe you needed it. Maybe God is testing you. Maybe you just need to be alone and understand. ठीक है. बाकी निराश तो होने की ज़रूरत है नहीं. सच मेरा भी ये फर्स्ट टाइम है. आई एम नॉट लाइक अ यूट्यूबर. आता है नहीं मेरे को करना. कुछ सीख रहा हूँ, बात करना सीख रहा हूँ मैं भी एक तरह से. इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ सेल्फ एक्सप्रेशन. ठीक है. एंड बहुत सारे